Okay, we're going to start number 2 of a series I'm doing called Bay Area Legends. And we're talking with a Bay Area legend today who now has moved down to Joshua Tree. And, but still has her roots and grew up and was born in San Francisco. So, Sophie, what's happening with you right now? Like, where are you at with your career and just like living in Joshua Tree? And tell people a little bit about where you're at now.
Okay, so where I'm at right now is I get to perform a lot of open mic situations, but not like open mic in San Francisco. It's more about you have people who actually appreciate you, and you have very many opportunities to, try out different music or different styles and such, and different clubs or different small venues. You have a lot of artists over here too.
And it's different than maybe an amateur hour that would be more like where usually people are up and coming.
Exactly.
And here they got established acts who just want to kind of congregate and have a workshop in a way.
In a way, it is a community, and that's the thing is I've never lived in such a small type of community, setting where like I'm going to like the supermarket and here I run into these other musicians or these promoters and such. It's like you can't hide. So
true. You didn't have that as much in San Francisco. You're saying you wouldn't see people around town.
Exactly. In San Francisco, you can kind of disappear or go to the Bay Area.
The population is so much larger.
Absolutely, yeah.
So they reformed their Yes Go's, and when did you start? Well, we can get into that a little bit, but the Yes Go's now had reformed at what point? Like, was it 2 years ago, or when did you guys get back together?
Let's see. Really, about 3 years ago. It was DJ that was promoting, and I still was gloating, or just I wasn't ready to really continue the Yes Go's without Lester, and that was the truth. And I put the band on hiatus, and in a way, it was kind of like a self-punishment kind of thing, and it wasn't good for anybody. But I just felt like
you did reform for a couple shows with Andre Custodio.
Oh yeah.
But it was like it was really like the Yes Go's are playing again, and that was exciting, and it was.
Yeah, but I wasn't really accepting as well. I went with it because people wanted to hear us.
And it was fun, right?
And it was fun, but it just wasn't the same, and so I was like, okay, whoever we could get or whatever, but I just didn't feel like the same identity. And and DJ kind of started taking more hold of the band, and that started bothering me as well. However, you know what? If DJ didn't interfere and really push, and that's sometimes what you need. You need, a mover and a shaker, a lot like you, Roxy.
Yeah. And she became that
you're
down
gonna
here.
just
So
keep on punching through that
She transformed
wall.
herself and trying to became something that she wasn't necessarily able to be or want to be, whatever the reason, are in San Francisco.
Absolutely.
So you came there, and so you got your own house now. You're down here.
Yeah,
Tell people a little bit about that, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
For people who have never had to visit you or see it.
Yeah,
it's your dream home, right?
It is my dream home. The only thing it doesn't have is an ocean I can dive into, but there is something very magical about this desert here, especially this desert in the high desert lands. Because of how the sun hits over here, and you have a contrast of the rocks, it's not all flat. As a matter of fact, it's incredibly deceiving. It's really deceiving. So, so I moved over here, and I used to walk everywhere in San Francisco from end to end, and I loved it. And I thought, oh great, I've got all this like hiking territory, but it's not even hiking, and I don't have to make a reservation to go. I've got everything that Lester and I used to come to see. I've got it right here in my backyard. I got it right here in my front yard. I got like 5 Joshua trees right here around my house, which is a 4-bedroom house, by the way. And I got a good deal on it.
Yeah, how many people even have? Sometimes it's like four people in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought I was doing the right thing. And yes, I am doing the right thing, but I need to continue to do more of the right thing by being more assertive and aggressive in trying to enjoy the whole
essence
of living here. Yes, I did.
So,
I mean,
it's
at the
also been an
beginning.
awesome experience for you to maintain the house, right? That's been part of like for
Well,
people don't know that side, but you have a little bit of a fixer.
Yeah,
upper spirit.
I like to call myself the, what is it, the MacGyveress? You
Okay.
know, like MacGyver, but in female version, you know, because I like to tooth it, you know, what they used to call stick fix. Like,
Yeah.
you know, rubber band fix, and because in the Xerox world, when I was a
You
copier,
shove a matchstick in there to kind of break something. Yeah.
and in the, like, if you're a contractor, they used to call it, oh, we're going to do a lipstick. And a lipstick is basically to aesthetically, you know, make everything look pretty, you know, and you're going to throw this and throw
More
that.
cosmetic, yeah.
Yeah, cosmetic, exactly. So, but yeah, I consider myself a MacGyveress and an underground, I still am an underground wannabe fashionista.
And for people, you know, you have a lot of friends and family still in the Bay Area, but they haven't even
Yes.
seen a video of your new band, or maybe you know, I don't see a lot of East Coast stuff posted. You have done a few, and all that kind of stuff. But you got to this point where the Bay Area, making the trip just became too much,
Oh yeah.
and that's why she had to kind of disenfranchise a little bit from San Francisco.
It was difficult because here I am living in my dream home, you know, where I can go hiking and disappear. I can go anytime I want, anytime. I mean, day,
You have your own house to
night.
do whatever you want.
I got my house that I could do wherever I want, and surprisingly enough, I can make noise because you know this desert air is very deceiving. Sometimes it can carry sound, and sometimes
Sucks it out.
it's like fog. It'll suck it in because
it absorbs it.
It absorbs it, like the heat gets sunken into the rocks and you know sand and such.
Right.
So where was I here?
So then you've done a couple projects, and you know we can come back full circle as
Sure.
we're doing it. But like you also did a project called Desert Dames.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Tell
That
people a
was
little bit about
crazy
that.
wonderful. So this through this place, it's called The Palms in Wonder Valley. So it's like going to San Jose from Joshua Tree. It's like taking a ride to San Jose. So it's the mileage is there. It's like 60 miles or so, but you could get there within less than 45 minutes, and because there's not much traffic really.
Yeah.
There's that's it. And you got beautiful views, and you know I get every day I get to have a sunrise and a sunset. I mean, and everything else in between, which is like it changes
And you
your
have
life.
this big open land area that seems to be
Yeah.
owned by the the state or the county.
part of
That's
it
right
is-
across from your house.
Yes,
They
part of
haven't
it
built
is-
anything across the street yet.
Well,
They
there was
started,
a
right?
millionaire. There was a millionaire who came up and he was checking out my house. He wanted to buy my house as well because I haven't upgraded and gone the I don't know, the Airbnb route.
Yeah.
I have like an older style. Really, what it is two mobile homes squished together. So it's a nice long 4-bedroom type
Yeah,
of
it is a spacey house. Yeah.
And
Spacious.
I'm actually closer to the hill where other people who are spending even more money for less of a view got that, but they got the modern technology, you know. And even though they try to keep it to the desert type of design, they still have a lot of the newer. It just looks not as, you know, it doesn't look Adobe. It doesn't look like it blends
That's a little
in.
bit 80s style.
Yeah, almost 80s, exactly.
Yeah,
So
and a nice
my
parking
house,
main
but
area.
at the same time,
And a
because
nice big backyard too.
it has, yeah, I wanted to build an Olympic swimming pool, but that was a dumb idea. Well, I didn't
I
do
don't
it.
think it is. I think you need to have a swimming pool.
You got to have coverage though. This is all this open area, which is fantastic, and you have to have a little bit of privacy. So, but the thing is
Be out
that.
there in your bikini, man.
Yeah,
Well, you guys have neighbors. You get along with your neighbors too. You have a little
Yes.
enclave up there.
I'm very lucky.
So it's up a street where there's not a lot of houses, but
Yes.
right around your house there's a little bit of what they call kind of a compound almost, like where you
Well,
don't.
right, but they're luckily they're down the street. But I wanted to talk about this millionaire maybe
Yeah,
who
whatever
was
you want to talk about.
trying to build right across on that empty land.
Yeah.
And I saw he chose the highest spot, and you know he was getting a bulldozer, and they were kind of making plans. And you know what I did? I went.
Sabotage.
And no, because I could actually hear like some vocal, and this
Yeah.
is like about a mile away, maybe a little bit under a mile,
Right.
and I could hear whatever.
It's kind of disruptive. Right?
And I was thinking, oh, you think you have privacy? So what did I do? Go inside, bring out my guitar, and started playing punk rock. some like
That's how
some
I do it.
cramps and stuff, some kind of annoying but kind of still
Did it chase
cool.
them away?
Yeah, all of a sudden they all what they did is they packed up and they took off. And so maybe I was hoping they
It
would
probably
realize.
contributed to it, but maybe it wasn't the full
Well,
cause.
of course. And a lot of houses around there, because of the weather here, it's extreme. I mean, you have extreme beauty. You have surreal skies.
Extreme heat too, like 120
Extreme
degrees.
heat. Well, the heat, yeah, Arizona can get pretty hot too, but it does have more humidity, and it's kind
But
of
Arizona,
flatter.
I think it's perhaps a little drier. In my opinion, I don't know.
Drier?
Yeah, it's a little more dead. Like that. That's really the Badlands.
Oh,
A
yeah.
little bit more like right up here because we're 2,000 feet above.
Right.
So people don't know this. The high
Right.
desert is 3,000 feet above sea level.
Exactly.
So we do have, and you could be here in the late spring and see mountains with snow on it.
Oh God,
Yeah.
I had like about that many inches of snow right in front of my house.
And
I
it
was
rains, and
writing my
there's
name.
There's more humidity here than I think people really envision.
Now it is, yes, in the summertime.
There's almost
Yeah.
monsooning, right? Like you get down there, like you'll have like these puddles. There's just times when it floods down here so much that people are riding boats down the street. You never seen that little
No.
kayaks? I've seen a guy just literally got a little like kayak, thing. It was like, it was about a couple feet above water.
Wow. Yeah. No. I never thought I'd see snow in the
And
desert.
so you're also doing a ukulele thing with groups.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that happening? I'm just
Yeah.
trying to review some stuff you're doing right
Sure.
now.
Yeah,
very
as a matter
curious.
of fact, I might even do that at the open mic over at the Crossroads that just opened up, and so it's a little it's like a little breakfast cafe type of thing, but they're trying to again, open mics really are thriving here. But of course, you have to sign up at 6:30. But like at the Hotel Utah, that's how Lonnie was able to meet a lot of her fans
she
for
first
Girls
started
with
out,
Guns. It was very.
So do you feel
supportive.
like I haven't yet, because I mean, with most people's preconceived notion
Yes,
of
I
open
agree.
mics, it's a little bit like
Okay.
I haven't really done it. I'm only down here in just little spurts. But do you feel like they're open to outsiders who are not part of this
Absolutely.
community? Like somebody just shows up,
Oh,
and
yeah.
if they're kind of cool, they got their own style,
They're
and then people just be still open and supportive and receptive.
yes, exactly.
Oh,
It's
that's
kind
awesome.
of
That
it's
doesn't
a different
happen every time.
it's a different feel because open mic over in San Francisco, besides the Hotel Utah, really you kind of have to think of
I don't even think
okay.
anybody's even doing that.
People
anymore.
are going to be, you're going to have background talks. People are going to be sitting there. They're going to,
I
and
literally
they're going
think
to
they're
hear
almost doesn't
barely
it.
anything, if
Yeah.
anything. Really, it's just kind of like your own, like I need to break out, I got to do this. And it takes a lot of balls to me. You don't have any other band members backing you up. You're naked, to me.
In a way, you're not riding on the coattails of your own success. You
That,
got to go in there like everybody's just got like bare bones. You got your guitar.
Yeah.
And so you can. But there's something different about open mics around here. If people were curious about it, you actually can do electric sets.
Oh, yeah, I
Which
get
most open mics are strictly acoustic.
Oh
or like.
no, it's actually, you'd be surprised. Like I saw a drum. I think it was the drummer from Flex Bronco go and perform, and he had all his, different dubbing machines and all kinds of different effects, and it was cool. There's the guy from the guitarist from. I don't know if I should say this, whatever, from the Psychedelic Furs, and we played.
Was he around?
Yeah, he actually.
You gotta live here, though.
Yes, he does.
Oh,
He
nice.
lives
See,
here with his
that's
wife.
something that's interesting too. And like, there's also been this migration of just San Franciscans from
Yeah.
Arden, who have ended up here in Joshua Tree right around the same time as when Barbara made the leap. And
Oh,
she has
yeah.
one of her dancer friend Todd Williams is here. The healer.
Wow.
You met him, right?
Yeah, no,
His
yeah,
long
yeah,
hair.
yeah.
I think he was. And there's also Shahast
Yeah.
and Scott from who has a
Helium.
Thrill of the Pole.
Yes.
And now he has a new band called Cult of Helios. So we'll give him a little shout out, and also
Sure.
Beth from the Meat Sluts. And,
Right, and now it's been, gosh.
And
I
then
don't
Wendy
remember.
too from Andalusia Rose. That's quite a
Right.
few people with Flex Bronco. And
Right,
I'm probably
and there's
missing
more.
a few people.
Yeah, and the drummer from The Cure, over in Wonder Valley.
So it's surprising that people
They-
would want to come here because it does, on the surface, if you were looking around for the musicians, just going to Walmart, doing whatever, it seems like it's more almost some blue collar
Yeah,
and some older just retirees.
yeah.
And you don't really see this necessarily the vibrant music scene that is there
No,
between the cracks and hidden below stones.
Right.
Stones
Well,
unturned.
it actually takes a lot of energy to, like in San Francisco, I really thought of, I really was concerned about how I looked and how I felt. And that brought up my confidence to be able to walk the streets. I don't want to be looking like a rock star, but I also don't want to look like, like
Funny
somebody
guy,
who
yeah.
doesn't do music because
Crap.
yeah, exactly. Because you never know who you're going to run into. But here, it's about the elements. You're facing extreme weather situations. So sometimes you want to be all decked out, and
it's like this kind of wind blown, almost like just lack of care for the appearance. You just want to. You're like riding bareback.
Or whatever. And some of these people like Mario and whatever.
Wanted did the album. It's called Joshua Tree. So I think it was either. There's only the thing about Joshua trees too is the area's emblematic of the Joshua Tree, but they don't grow anywhere else except for a little bit in Vegas.
Exactly.
And then they
they're
just
magic.
have not
They're magic.
spawned all over America. There's none in California. There's a little bit in California here, but there's just not these pockets of in Texas and.
They are fantastic. Well, a lot of different creatures here. They learned how to survive in the desert, and it's amazing. But then also the ecosystems. Like for example, the Joshua Tree has to have its own ecosystem, and this is from the moths to the birds and everything around it. And you can actually try to replant a baby Joshua Tree, and it might not make it.
Yeah.
So
because they're either attached to a root system, or Barbara was telling me that a certain bird has to eat the seeds, and then they gotta redigest them, and then some other animal has to do these things, and then it gets to the point where through the seed, the pods that come off.
That's interesting, and I heard about
that.
They
found 2 ways to actually reproduce, though. Which is not every creature on Earth has 2 ways to do that.
Yeah.
Where you just you could be fucking, or it just drops off your hand. Like so it almost is like that. I think that they seem to be from almost another planet.
They do. They look, especially at night when you start to see the shadows, because each one of them, they're unique. Every single one.
They moved from 2 days ago. Yeah.
They're called Joshua Tree because they're supposed to be the Jewish people reaching up towards the heaven.
Was it Jewish? Is that what it's called? Is that for something?
I thought so.
Yeah.
Don't quote me exactly, but that's what I heard. And here's the other now this is a fact, that you can actually kill them by watering just the trunk, like you would think, like most plants and trees, because they absorb water through the top and it goes down, and so people can easily kill them by actually putting, and this is what they were doing.
So put water on the base?
You can. They won't do so well because
they really start to get root rot or something.
Yes, root rot. And there's some other ones too. I think it's the.
So and also since we're talking about Joshua Tree to start out, you had a little bit of a history coming down here to visit with Lester, and so you had this vision, and it was like one of those miracles, just a lot of things that happened to me just starting my career again, and just to relate to it, but it's surreal in a way. You dreamed about this thing happening, and it just kind of did happen. And so when you guys came down here before, you maybe tell a little bit of that story about with Lester, that you took off from this camp.
Okay, great.
There's a little bit of an anecdote.
This was the last time actually that Lester was in Joshua Tree. Now we used to.
Lester was your husband.
Lester is my husband. And, we got curious about Joshua Tree, from the actual, and this is hilarious, from the YouTube, the band YouTube.
So that's what made you find interesting.
We were curious because we were hikers and backpackers and went all over, but this was a different land. Why go to the desert? Why?
It's hot.
It's hot. There's nothing there.
Right.
But why? And then, you
were intrigued.
And still, we were curious, and hilariously enough, when they made the video, they didn't even make it in Joshua Tree proper. It was actually more in 29 Palms. I didn't know that. But it's still the desert.
It's basically all the Joshua Tree.
It's all pretty close. It's only 15 minutes away from 29 Palms from here.
And so you came down with his brother, right?
Well, we used to come and make the trips. Yeah, we'd go hiking. We would camp, actually, because it was so far to go. And we would go right after work, take off on a Friday night, and go, drive all night and get over here, 5 a.m, try to set up a tent in the wind, which is so stupid. But it was a whole group of explorers. They're called explorers, which was like a branch from, I wasn't in it, but Lester was a Boy Scout. And so after you're too old to be a Boy Scout, you become an explorer, and you get funded from the government to be able to do.
Strangely, before that, I think they're called Weeblos.
Maybe.
No,
I don't know
they're
where we
the
lived.
Cub Scouts. They're Cub Scouts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, he never was. I know he wasn't a Weeblo, but I do know he
It's
was
just
a
funny
Boy
they call him
Scout.
Weeblo. Anybody out there in the comments below, first, any of you want to talk about your experiences with Joshua Tree, but for this video, we'd like to hear some of your stories.
Yeah.
And also just, if you
Yeah.
ever were a Weeblo, we want to know what Weeblos do. So you
Yes.
did this thing, and then you said something loud, like you ended up just taking off.
Okay, so the last time we came, and this is a long story. Let me see how I can
It's
shorten
okay,
it.
I'm here for it.
Okay, and so we met these girls from Hungary, and actually that's how we started. Lester and I started playing in front of people, and we were called Sick Susan at the time. Sick Susan, okay, SYK, like sick, and my concept was the band would be every member in the band would be Susan. And so, you know, just for fun, you know.
So was Lester
So,
Saucy Susan?
we never got to that point
The name,
because it
no.
was just the two of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And long story short,
That's all right, just tell me.
these Hungarian girls had to, you know, they finally finished their visa and they had to go back to Hungary. But because of them, we got inspired to start really playing music. And we even came to, I'm trying to remember the club on Valencia,
Chameleon?
No, it was something else and I can't remember, but it's a giant theater and at times they would do comedy night and whatever. They
Okay.
used to do music.
The building's gone now, right?
I think it's finally gone, yeah. But they used to do music.
That's
and,
one of the first shows you guys ever did.
It is one of the first shows, but this is hilarious how we got in there. So with these girls, there was Mimi and Barbara, and they were really cute or whatever. And we had a CD. Lester and I made a CD, recorded it, and and Lester was overconfident about, you know, telling everybody about the CD, and I was kind of like, I don't know, you know, I'm kind of embarrassed, whatever, but I know to be a musician, you gotta put yourself out there. It's scary,
Right.
scary. So it was a night, and we were driving around, and it looked like it was really happening at this club, right, on the Mission, in the Mission District, and like they were excited, and that was the night too that we were just having fun dressing up, and I dressed Lester in my red velvet coat, okay, and it was not a super long one, and it looked good on him, and so we started putting makeup on him just for fun.
The first show, huh?
Yeah, no, this was right before the first show. This is how we got the show.
Okay.
And so like we're all confident, I'm dressed up too, the girls were dressed up, we were making videos of us playing music. I was showing Mimi how to sing and do harmonies. I was showing Barbara how to play the bass, or no, maybe drums. I can't remember exactly. We were all kind of playing around, playing cover songs and some of the originals I made. And so we were all kind of dressed up in a rock star mode anyway, and it's the four of us, and we all look good. And so we're confident, and it was like, yeah, let's get in line, let's see what this is about. And so we got in, and so then they say, why are you here? And we're looking around, it looks pretty lively, and it's like, you know, and who are you? And then the girls go, well, this is Lester Moore. And he had a CD to present. Really, all what he wanted is to present the CD and leave. But it looked cool. And they go, ladies and gentlemen, we have Lester Moore coming. And guess what? It was like gay night or something. I don't know.
So
it was one of those nights. So everybody was dressed up and everything. Oh, Lester Moore. It's like,
So
yeah.
he somehow just, they hyped him.
And exactly, and like we were his entourage in a way, you know, and
Three
so.
hotties with him,
but,
and he loves
yeah.
the Scorpio.
Oh yeah, and he was beaming, going like, yeah, you know. But then we realized, okay, well, this was fun.
Can you remember about what year this was?
Oh gosh, let's
place
see.
it in
I'm
your
trying to
chronology.
think. 2003 maybe,
Yeah.
something like that. Like around, yeah.
Well, 3 or 4 years before we met.
Before DJ joined. DJ joined like 2 years later, so maybe 2007, something like that.
And it really is remarkable too that you like, you know, with Luca Brasi we had an 11-year run, but that
Yeah.
there still exists at Yesco today in 2024.
Yeah.
Literally almost like 20 years after you started.
It's
the 6th
crazy,
season.
and
Right? Like,
playing
they
the
actually
same
call it-
songs.
And just since we're on it, like, can you tell me what the story behind the name Yesco?
Oh, sure, of course. So Lester and I would go to a lot of clubs and go see the locals, the shows, and we just felt like we would even help move equipment. It made us
Just want to
feel
be a
like
part of it.
part of just helping and appreciating, right? And one of the bands we liked was called, they were called the Black Furies.
Okay, I remember that.
All right. And they were cool, and they
Mike
had...
Scanlon was in that one, I think.
Huh?
I think Mike Scanlon was in that one.
Yeah. And so what was crazy is they had a song called "Offer Resistance," and at the beginning of the song, it goes, "Yes, go!" And just like that, it was just and it started drive,
Right.
And I love the song. Lester loved the song. And I wanted to see if I could play it. And Lester and I would do that. We would take covers and see if we could play them by ourselves, and we could get so far pretty good. But the problem was, not the problem, but in those days, the type of car he was driving actually had a tape recorder, a tape deck in it. And
Not an 8-track though, right?
Not an 8-track, no, just
That's
it was a Phoenix Pontiac.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like a big cookie cutter type of design, but it had a lot of. We slept a lot of music equipment and did a lot of shows throughout the week. So I went and I recorded that, but what I did was at the beginning, I recorded "Yes, go, yes, go,
And it's just stuff.
yes, go." Ba 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 ba. So I wanted him to practice. So I gave him the tape or whatever. And we practiced it. It sounded pretty good. We go to see the Black Furies. We're up in front. We're all excited, and we're ready for the Yes Go song. But all of them are great. And so we're in front, and the singer also played guitar. So he's in front of us, like standing right there, and he goes, "I'm sorry." Well, anyway, imagine I'm standing up ready to go, right? Yes, go. And Lester's "Yes, go." Yes, go! And so what's happening?
So something clicked and then you guys started going.
Well, no, they thought that Lester was like harassing him.
Right.
So he got actually
pulled
by the neck.
Facetious.
Yeah, no, they thought he was a shit disturber, and it actually pulled the energy off of energy off of the singer. Going like, "Shit, what is this? Why the."
Right.
And I had to actually get the guy, his hook off of Lester's neck. No, it's not his fault. I'm sorry. And we explained the story, and then we went back and explained it to I forgot his name, the lead singer. And then I told him after that experience was so crazy that I said, if we ever have a band, I want to call it the Yes Goes.
It's just positive.
Apostrophe S, because it's also
the
hard
apostrophe
to find.
S was interesting.
Well, it's on purpose because it's harder to actually copy.
Right.
Because it's
That
incorrect
would be a
English.
possessive thing, like as far as the English language.
Yeah.
It was like
It's supposed to be.
It's a little bit unorthodox or something.
Well, it's incorrect English.
Yeah.
And still
Grammar,
to this day, I haven't found it. Because the thing is, of course, you'll find other bands and. And
Did
if
you ever come across another band called the Eskos? Or?
No, but there were certain like new programs coming out of Japan, and it actually said the Yes, but it's GOES.
Yeah.
And then there was another band called the Goes, okay? And there was, I think, an apostrophe S, but not the Yes Goes.
Right.
So far to this day, I've been able to hold the title.
Yeah, I know. I had the Luke Brasi thing happen with the same spelling like years later.
Exactly.
There's some dorky man. I was like, gotta be kidding how quickly they forgot. But that's really cool that the Yes Goes, because it would seem like almost like an XOX or for example, or a Lipstick. Like there'd be more bands called these things, but there just doesn't happen to be a lot of them.
Right. And
there's no band called XOX like when I'm doing with Barbara.
That's
and how did that not happen before?
How is that? Well, because they feel
the thing is, it's not XOXO, which would be the phrase that most.
Exactly.
So that kind of just not how it
XOX,
one
and
off.
it cuts it
So
short.
it kind of made it 3.
No.
So we're about with. So for the people, if you've made it this far, you're fucking you're a player. So we got a half hour here on this thing. So I like to do it in segments. So we're gonna take a little bit break.
Excellent.
In the sense as we wrap this. That was a half hour went by, didn't it? It was like in a minute.
Yeah,
and so next segment we're gonna try to do part 2 of the Sophie Vogel interviews. we're gonna go start with our origins issue. You know, comic books have this thing where they say how the superhero was made.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna talk about like
It's an
kind of her
interesting
early
story.
life, and she's a native San Franciscan.
Yes,
And there's not that many of them, but
too.
both you and Lester were born there, I think.
Yes, we were both born in the heart of the
Yes.
city.
And they're all larky as fuck. Every true San Franciscan born there has a little bit of crazy in them.
Absolutely, yes.
They're just not. It was for years. It was a symbolic city of cultural progressive culture.
Right.
Embracing the gay culture and different
Yes.
things like
Oh, yeah.
and the hippie culture as well. So
Oh, yeah.
now it's become a little bit of a different beast. But as far as when you were growing up, that was really some of the most infamous times of you grew up, you know, in the '60s,
Right.
And so like that was like the most powerful time.
It was crazy because I remember my parents driving through. My father wanted to go check out this Russian restaurant, and it was in Haight Street, somewhere on Haight. And we're going.
It was really different back
And
then. Huh?
it
Like
was naked people walking around, hippies and
Really?
such. Yeah, and my mom's going, John, you better put, and
There's
they
still
actually
naked people
did
there,
this
but
to me.
There's
You
these two
know?
guys who wear the chili pepper sock and they just walk around there shaved.
Yeah, it was
And there's
weird.
nothing
A
back
lot-
then.
oh,
Back then it was
flowers?
more hippies.
Flowers being thrown on the windshield as he's,
Really?
driving.
So you experienced that?
Yep.
Flower
I was
power.
a little kid.
You
little
tasted
kid.
the original flower power.
Well, I didn't taste it. I just
Well,
was
so
like
you were
watching
there.
it as
They
a
threw
little
flowers
kid.
on your windshield.
Yes.
You tasted that culture that,
Yeah.
you know, after a certain couple of years, it just ended up to,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Charles Manson kind of coming
Yeah.
there and like a lot of different things happening.
Yep. I
But
saw that.
but you know, San Francisco is one of those cities that was really stood apart from the rest of the nation as a place where it was
Absolutely.
a sanctuary city.
Oh gosh, well you
That
get
still
the
is to some degree.
you get microclimates here too, but you really get extreme microclimates in San Francisco because of the topography. You've got the beach, you've got the fog, and you've got the cliffs, and you've got like the lower areas too.
And then downtown.
And it's almost surrounded by water as well. So
It's
you
the
know,
Bay Area ecosystem.
cheers,
is-
man. I look forward to
So all
it.
you Bay Area punters out there, just stick around and tune into part 2 of the Sophie Vogel interviews for Bay Area Legends. And if you want to do a Bay Area Legend segment, contact me. I think the next one we're going to try to do is Marcus from the Pirate Punks.
Wow.
And we'll be back
Cool.
after this.